Peace and blessings. I am Moon Goddess Ambrosia, the fifth force oracle of Moon Goddess and the Healing Arts. And I'm so excited to do video number 2 for us on this plasma, shall I say, by sharing the cosmic oracle reading of evolution. Now, before I get into the reading for us as a collective, I wanted to share with you all about what my mission is. So, the main picture of what I seek to accomplish or what I seek to guide us along the process of is healing our hearts so that we can bring peace and evolve the peace within ourselves and evolve the way that we see ourselves, the way that we think, and the mindset that we're in so that we can align ourselves to our divine purpose and vibrate on the frequency that aligns us to the life that we envision ourselves experiencing, and being able to do so in a way where we improve ourselves as a member of humanity so that we can create a beautiful experience that all of us can live in harmony with one another. And so through that, I have curated or put together what is known as the journey of self-remembrance to self-mastery. And so I look forward to sharing the cosmic oracle reading for us on this evening or on this day to get us started on this journey. And so I want to encourage you all to take a moment to watch the first video that I did on Kin 1 so that you can get familiar as to how this all ties in together. And actually on this session, I will provide a bit more information to, kind of put a better picture to why this information is so important and why you really want to tap in and join me on this journey. And so before I move forward, I definitely take a moment to look at some of the links that I have here, which is my website, my Instagram, my Facebook, and of course here, my YouTube. And I want to invite you all to follow me and really connect with me, because I will say on my Facebook and Instagram page, I am posting soul assignments that corresponds to the collective cosmic oracle reading, aka C.O.R.E readings that I do here. And so definitely, make note of that. I will also have it in the description as well so that we can all stay connected and make sure that I am providing you with the information to help you to evolve along in your journey. And so with that, this cosmology is so special to me. It has definitely helped me to advance in so many areas of my life. And so basically with the cosmic oracle readings, this is based on the Destiny Kin Oracle board, for which is here in the center. And it's a part of the law of time concepts. And I'll talk a little bit more about that on the next couple of slides here. However, I really want to bring focus to why we are focusing on this cosmic oracle reading and what it all means. And so this is the Destiny Kin Oracle that provides us with a 5D template to help us to sustain our synergy, to synchronize the energy of our multidimensional aspects. And so that includes our emotions, our mental, our physical body, our soul, as well as how we're being guided by our spirit, the spirit in our hearts. And so by us being able to put all of these together in a synergized way, it helps us to really navigate in our experience as multidimensional beings here on Earth, and our frequencies radiate throughout the entire universe. And so one of my favorite ways of looking at this cosmology is seeing ourselves as energetic light beings. So what that means is that in order for us to be human, one, we need energy within our body to move our body so that we can be animated, so that we can really tap into our life force energy and be the character that we see ourselves being in this experience. And also with that, we are conscious beings. So if you take a moment to look at the scientific name for being a human, that's the Homo sapien. So it's so interesting seeing how if you look at the meaning of what a Homo sapien is, it talks about us being wise beings, us having such this power of consciousness to evolve ourselves and to grow. And that's how we evolve, through our consciousness. And so throughout my journey, throughout my self-discovery journey, my self-healing journey, I have explored different modalities and different teachings to help me piece together the vision that I have, as well as to get more connected with my divine purpose, and even to get here on this session and be able to make these videos and things. And so through that, I have came into information that has helped me to really solidify everything. Like, I've studied astrology, like the natal charts. I've studied let's see what else, the chakras, and honestly, so much, like so many different things. And over time, I will start sharing a lot of those with you all. I know when I first started Moon Goddess, it initiated through me doing tarot readings, which I do still offer, as well as additional support to help us to heal ourselves, to discover more about ourselves, and to evolve and, do a lot of these great things. I mainly use the tarot cards to bring up different information from our subconscious mind to help us to go through that healing process, to bring it up to our awareness, and do some of that shadow work and shadow boxing, so that we can clear up all of those different blockages that we may experience throughout our lives that's preventing us from advancing ourselves. And so through all of that, what I have seen was that it took me to a point where I started to have more questions, right? And so I remember a few years ago, before I came into this cosmology that I'm getting ready to speak on, I had asked myself, what is time really? Because what I noticed is that, like, yes, I'm studying astrology, doing tarot readings, and doing all these different things. However, I found, and they are working, they still work to this day. However, I noticed that I had this conflict with time. Sometimes I would feel like I'm ahead of the game, but then I also feel behind. And so I started doing some soul searching and some research, and really trying to figure out what time is. And so I had this amazing synchronicity that came up, where I met someone that introduced me to the law of time. And so this is where the cosmic oracle readings come from. And I wanted to share with you some of the basic concepts as to how it works. And my goal is not to do so much teaching of it, because I do facilitate the new kin orientation that talks a lot more about why you want to know your personal galactic signature, aka your kin number. And also, I am the one of the instructors for the Law of Time courses that we offer through the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. And so I will have all of those links in the chat. Excuse me, not in the chat. I will have those links as well in the description. And I highly encourage you to come on to the New Kin orientation sessions that we have every Thursday, because with that, those are free sessions that helps you to get started in getting more familiar with the cosmology as well as your kin number. Whereas the Law Time 100 courses, that's when you get the opportunity to study with us and really dive deeper into understanding the concepts. And so one of the things that we do talk about on, the orientation as well as in the courses is what we know as the 13 moon calendar. And so the 13 moon calendar is amazing because it helps us to shift out of the time is money paradigm and way of thinking, and helps us to align ourselves to the natural cycles. And one thing that I really love about the 13 moon calendar as well is that each moon presents us with the question, which we will talk about the moon that we're currently in as well in, the next couple of slides here. And so, it Oh, and another benefit is that it's so structured. Like when you look at the Gregorian calendar, or, the calendar that we all know of, with May, June, July, and all of those things. When you look at the calendar, one thing that has always stood out to me is that each month had a different number, and it just having to navigate all these different things that's not as structured, and it doesn't really give us, any way, or it doesn't help to it doesn't help us to really evolve. Really, it helps us to keep up with time and schedulings and things that got to do with money a lot of the times, and holidays and those different things, right? However, what I found with the 13 moon calendar, it helps you to get more connected with your own natural cycles, as well as the natural cycles of the universe or the cosmos and nature and things. And so I am so thankful to have integrated the 13 moon calendar into my life, because it has helped me to find that balance and to answer the questions and to get that inner peace that I was seeking back when I first got introduced to the cosmology. And so another component of it is that, so going back to the 13 moon calendar. So what makes it structured is that each moon consists of 28 days, or 28 plasma, shall we say. Or we say plasma within the cosmology instead of saying day, because I start thinking about being in a daze. I don't like the way it feels vibrationally to say that. So I love that we say plasma um, in replacement of that. And so, like, when we look at the 13 moon calendar, it's very structured. Like, the 13 moon calendar starts off every July 20, well, every July 26th, the first moon starts, and it continues, it's always those dates. And so I'll talk a little bit more about the current moon that we're in. However, I highly recommend, coming on to the New Kin orientation and the Law Time courses. Another component is the Zocan calendar, which is a calendar that the Olmecs or has originated from the Olmec civilization. A lot of the times we may hear this is in relation to the Mayan calendar. However, the Olmecs is the civilization that actually put together this Zocan 260 calendar. And so the Zocan calendar is a calendar of evolution, creation, as well as cosmic intelligence, or, it helps us to tap into the power of our own consciousness from what we are experiencing on a day-to-day basis. And so how this 260-day calendar was created is based on the fact that it has 20 solar seals, which each correspond to a different creative power that we all embody. And then the 13 and then it's multiplied by 13 galactic tones or frequencies to help us to shift into different vibrations of how we utilize these different creative powers, right? And so when we take 13 times 20, that equals 260, and that's what creates that Zocan calendar. So all 20 of the solar seals rotate and go through the 13 galactic tones. And so another amazing thing about the cosmology too is that each solar seal / archetype has its own wave spell, where I look at the wave spells as different opportunities to practice that self-mastery. So what the Law of Time has done was they combined both of these calendars so that we can synchronize our 3D selves or our physical selves using the 13 moon calendar. And it helps to, bring structure and order to our mind. And then the Zocan calendar helps us to be more in tune with the energies and the energy within our physical body that helps us to navigate through this experience as our life force. And so I love this cosmology so much. And give me 1 second. I love this cosmology so much because, like I said, for myself, it helped me to be more at peace within, as well as to know how to navigate through um, my experience is a lot better because I have always been in tune with energies, and I've always been interested in learning and growing and evolving. And so I love that the cosmology helps to bring that full picture together for me to know now how to, like I said, navigate better with all of my natural abilities, right? And so with that, what we're looking at now is called the synchronomer. This is the calendar that has been synchronized to incorporate the 13 moon calendar as well as the Zocan calendar. And so when we first started off uh, this cosmic year that we're in now, that was so going back, that was on July 26th. We started off in the year of the blue rhythmic storm. And so throughout this year, or throughout this cosmic year, until we get to uh, the the next cycle that we'll be entering, which will be on July of this year, we are focusing on evolving by balancing the power of self-generation. So what that means is finding balance in the way that we stay catalyzed, and or balancing the way that we stay energized through our own catalyzation. So, this means that, while we're being receptive to new information that helps us to balance our energy, it creates and opens up new doors to new opportunities. And so it's really important that we maintain and sustain our energy as multidimensional beings so that we can continue to thrive here in this experience. Because just imagine if you're driving in your car and you run out of gas, or imagine that, you're not taking care of the different components of your car to drive it. Eventually you won't be able to navigate and use your car. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same concept when it comes to making sure that we balance our own energy so that we can save fuel to carry out to carry out this experience that we're in. And so what we're looking at right now, like I said, is a combination of both calendars. And so we are in the ninth moon out of the 13, which is known as the solar jaguar moon. And so the reason why I felt called to start up these cosmic oracle readings is because on on March 25th, we started a whole new 260 spin. And so I'm going to talk about why that's important in just a little bit as well. And so just by looking at this, that was on Kin 1. That was the day or the day/plasma that I did the first recording, because we are now in this time period of nurturing our being, like nurturing our energy within our body so that we can be inspired to create a new life for ourselves. And so this, by starting a new 260 spin, this is where we're giving birth to a new being, to being in a new state and new way of navigating in this experience. And so what I have also highlighted here is the kin of the plasma that we are currently on, which is kin 5, the red overtone serpent. And so I will be doing the cosmic oracle reading in regards to kin 5. And so now to talk about, so let me go back real quick. And so when we look at this, we can see that the solar jaguar moon starts on March 7th and runs all the way to April 3rd. We can also see the question that it asks here, which is, how do I attain my purpose? So that's another synchronicity as to why I felt called right here and right now to even start doing these cosmic oracle readings, because I am all about purpose. I'm going to say my affirmation. Actually, I'm going to say it now. So based off of the cosmology, my galactic signature is the red crystal dragon. And so each one comes with a affirmation. So for mine, I dedicate in order to nurture, universalizing being. I seal the input of birth with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of space. And so when I first read my affirmation, I instantly felt connected to it. Yes, I'm a nurturer. Like, I really want us to honor being ourselves and operating on our purpose. That has been something that's been personal to me even before this cosmology. The reason why I started the whole healing journey and started Moon Goddess in the beginning was so I can have more clarity as to what my purpose is here on earth. Like, I really knew that I had so much wisdom and so much that I can provide to others in a way to inspire them to live their best life just like I wanted to, right? And so also, I'm really big on cooperation, on collaborating. I love working with other people. I just love being in harmony with people, and finding different ways I can share my knowledge with anyone who's interested. You know what I'm saying? So, reading my affirmation helps me personally to, be reminded with what my energetic specialty is. And, this is why I want to encourage you all to, you know, tap in, find out what your galactic signature, contact me, because I have no problem. Like, I would greatly appreciate you reaching out to me to figure out what your galactic signature is. And if you want to dive deeper into understanding how your destiny oracle works, that's where you could book your own personal cosmic oracle reading. And I also have something that's called, or I have another service that is called the Galactic Profile Chart that shows you so much more than just, the energy that you embody and your destiny oracle, right? So that's the goal, is to get everyone their galactic profile chart. However, we got to start by first knowing what your galactic signature is so that you can really get integrated in this cosmology, especially if you vibing with everything that I'm saying right now, right? All right, so now that we done talked about the moon that we're currently in, or excuse me, the year that we're in, I want to now go into talking about the moon that we're in. So what I did was I went and pulled together the etymology of certain words within the affirmation of the solar jaguar moon. This moon is all about intention. So throughout this moon, we have been realizing what our intentions are. And so with the question, it says, how can I attain my purpose? So let's look at the definition of these words. So when it comes to, let's start with purpose. So purpose, it says an intention, an aim, a goal, an objective to view. My favorite definition that I've seen on here, it says by design and intentionally. So what is your intentional design? Like, why were you here? Why were you created? This is why it's so important to know your purpose, because once you have more clarity on what your purpose is, now you're able to focus differently. You won't be so sporadic and just doing different things that's not bringing you peace and joy and creating more harmony in your experience, because you know even that goes back to the year that we're in, balancing the way that we catalyze our energy. So we got to know what our purpose is and know what is our purpose. Like, what's the purpose of you driving to the grocery store? You know what I'm saying? Because, I'll say this, what's the purpose of you leaving the house to get in your car? Because if you don't have no purpose, either you're going to just sit there, or you're going to be wasting your gas doing all these different things that you don't need to be doing, when the whole purpose of you getting in the car was to go to the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? So knowing what your purpose is so important, the same way as it pertains to us planning the trip or going on any type of journey or travel. We got to know what our purpose is. And so also it says, how can I attain my purpose? We got the word attain in there. So to attain your purpose, it says to succeed in reaching, to come close, to like become so close to it that you can touch it. One of my other favorite words is that it says here is striving. Like, what is your endeavor? So once you know what your purpose, now you will have more clarity as to how to succeed in attaining your purpose, or how to, I don't I use the same, I use the same words, but it's all good. But basically you get the point. Like, it is, how can I succeed in reaching my intentions? How can I succeed in fulfilling my divine purpose? Like, the reason that I am here. Like, why am I here on this planet? You know what I'm saying? So that is one of the core things that helps us when it comes to this cosmology. Because one thing I will say too is, on that first moon that we have, that whole moon is focused on what is my purpose. That is the magnetic bat moon, and the question for that one is, what is my purpose? So when we start getting in, well, when we get into the new cycle, which will be on July 25th, we get that opportunity to really hone in and focus in, specifically getting clarity for that question. However, at any time you could jump in and, make this thing work, right? So my goal right now is to get us prepared for when we start the next moon cycle, or the 13th moon cycle. And so let's come back to talking about the solar Jaguar moon. Another word that it incorporates is pulsing. So it says realizing to pulse our attention. So once we realize our purpose, or know our purpose, we can now realize our intentions. And then once we realize our intentions, then we can strive towards attaining our purpose. So when we do that, the next step of that is to pulse in that attention. So I looked up the definition of that, and it says to throb, to beat, to measure the rhythm of our beat. So when it comes to this pulsing aspect, it's like saying, how am I operating in this frequency? Like, how am I carrying out my life force? Like, the decisions that I make, the way that I think, the way that I feel, how am I bringing my intention, like the whole purpose that I'm here, how am I bringing that to life? How am I making that real through my actions, through me pulsing in my intention, right? And so with that, or before I go into the next piece, so the reason why I'm going over all of this is so that you can get an idea as to how to apply this when we get into the Destiny Oracle piece. And so I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So that's just talking about the 13 moon calendar aspect. Now, when we talk about the Zokin, this is a dope visual that High Priestess Mayat has put together. She is one of the co-founders of the Melanated Immortals. And so she had put together a beautiful visual to explain. Let me take a breather. She dropped this gem on Friday when we had a lineup with the cycles. She dropped this gem on the lineup with the cycles. And I was so excited because I have been curating something similar to help us to navigate through this self-remembrance journey. So I was glad that she put together a visual to explain, the different processes that I am guiding us through by these oracle readings, these cosmic oracle readings. So when we look at the Zokin calendar, remember I said that each of the archetypes has its own wave spell. So the first 4 wave spells are all about giving birth to a new being, just as I mentioned before. So right now we are in the first wave spell, which is the red dragon. So throughout this wave spell, we are nurturing the power of our birth by nurturing our bodies, our beingness, all parts of us as multidimensional beings, and becoming wakeful of it, like bringing our awareness to it, not so much thinking about what's going on around us, but being aware and present within our own body. And so this red dragon wave spell um, is nurturing a new expression of ourselves. So that's why, again, this is a great time. Like anytime you could know your galactic signature. However, when you know your galactic signature now and start getting more familiar with it, it helps to speed up this process of you being more connected with self and getting, we can really bask and take advantage of the wave spell and the energies that we are in at this time if you know your galactic signature. And honestly, even if you don't know your signature, you can still apply this cosmology based on, staying tapped in with me, coming on to the New Kent orientation sessions through Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. And that, okay, I got to do a shout out too. The Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment is founded by Neb Taharka. He is also the co-founder of Mimic, which is, he co-founded with High Priestess Mayat. And so he started Synchronistic Human for us to have that time to really focus on a lot of these concepts. So that's the schooling aspect of it. And so, that's where, that's like I said, that's the schooling aspect of it. So once we understand why all of this works and how it works, we can begin to really apply it and integrate it in our life to have things to flow better. Like, of course, there are going to be some challenges. It's just like when you're learning a new skill or something. Of course, there's going to be some challenging in, getting better at that skill. However, the more that you integrate it and practice and apply it, the easier it becomes. Just like when you had to learn how to tie your shoe. In the beginning, it wasn't so easy. However, now you do it without thinking, right? So, we want to get ourselves into this process of evolving and staying connected within ourselves so that we can, continue to move forward in life and not keep repeating the same old cycles that do not bring us joy and peace and all of the good things that we envision for ourselves. And so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about all of the different wave spells, but I will say that we go through 5 different seasons as we look at as we flow through the 260 galactic calendar. And so the first season is giving birth to a new being. The second season is where we come into our divine prophecy or our divine purpose here on earth and start to make certain changes in our experiences. And then the third stage is being more attuned to our life force and really trusting ourselves that, okay, yeah, I can do more than just getting comfortable in my being and figuring out how this thing works. I can take this to the next level, right? And then so when we get into the fourth part of it, this is where we get into the evolution part. Because the first two is getting familiar with our divine purpose and why we're here. Then the third one is starting to activate that in our life force, through our day-to-day actions and decisions. And so then when we get into the fourth season of it, this is where we start to see a lot of these evolutions taking place. We start to see our dreams come into life. So then by the time we get to the fifth part of it, or the fifth season, this is where we get newer instructions for the next evolution that we're about to go in. So like, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. And I can't wait to share more as we continue to get through this journey together. And so I'm going to go ahead and, start leading us into this Cosmic Oracle reading because I don't want to hold you off for too long. That's why I say I'm doing my best not to do so much teaching because this is my jam. So here we have a picture of the Zocan calendar. And so on Kin 1 is when we started the 260 spin. that Kin 1 is the red magnetic dragon. So that's that first wave spell that you see here on the right. And so now we are on Kin 5. We are on the red overtone serpent. And so before we got to the red serpent, I was giving out these soul assignments to prepare us for the energy that we're on today. Because the first 4 helps us to attract awareness to our being so that we can now define what our targets is, like bring more definition to what our purpose is. So now that we are here on the red overtone serpent, now that we're on the red overtone serpent, now we are commanding our life force to now get into the rhythm of what we know. And so I will be giving out soul assignments for the next 4 kin or the next 4 plasmas that we'll be on. So definitely stay tuned. Today I will give you the first assignment. And for the other ones, that's where you need to come find me on Facebook and or on Instagram so you can get those assignments as well. All right, so this is a picture of the 4 assignments that I gave during the first 4 archetypes or the first 4 kin. So kin 1 through 4, those are the soul assignments that I gave. And so again, this just brings it to perspective as to how all of this tied together, because it's a buildup. It's like a story. So coming back to the example of, seeing ourselves, like our physical body, as the vehicle, and the energy within us as the energy that's giving us this life force, right? And so first, we have to attract beings. So we have to bring awareness to our body. We got to allow ourselves to be in connection with the fact that we have this energy flowing within us. Then we get on kin 2, then we start to stabilize our breathing. Just think about when a baby is born. First, the baby grows in the womb. And then when the baby comes, when you give birth to the baby, that's when, you hear the first cry. That's like similar to that's the breath coming into the body. So we stabilize our breath, then we start connecting with our dreams. We start connecting with our intuition, because through our intuition, that's where we see the abundance of our experience. Because if you could dream it, you can make it real. We have dreams that only every person has their own dreams. Like, yes, we can collaborate on a lot of these dreams, but our reason behind why we are receiving this dream is because we were made here to bring it to life, right? And so then that lead us into defining what our targets are. So like, if you've done the 4 soul assignments, you will see how it's all starting to create this picture for us. And so I'm not going to keep going in on that. I want you to, if you are just joining in, I want you to go back and review those assignments, and then, continue to keep on flowing with us through the process. Okay. So now that we are now at the state of knowing what our targets are, this now brings us to kin 5. So I'm gonna read the affirmation for the red overtone serpent. I'm gonna read it 3 times. I want us to really allow ourselves to connect with what we're thinking and what we're feeling from, like, reading the affirmation. This is also a great time to write down any notes and any thoughts and insights that come through for you as I read it. And I want to also invite you to read along with me if, you feel called so to do. So we're going to read it 3 times. And so it says, I empower in order to survive. Commanding instinct. I seal the store of life force with the overtone tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of wakefulness. And I want to make a quick note. When I hear survive, I'm also thinking thrive. And shout out to Ken 25, Mama T, for introducing me to the word change, because I love words, right? So thrive. We want to shift our mindset of out of surviving into thriving mode, because in surviving mode, that's where the fight or flight reactions start to come in. However, if we recognize how abundant we are, and we know what our purpose is, that shifts us into thriving mode. We start to dream a lot more of the different things that we want to accomplish and bring to life. And that alleviates this whole competition aspect of, this society, right? So we're going to go ahead and read this 2 more times. I empower in order to thrive. We're going to say thrive now. Commanding instinct. We're going to command ourselves to be in tune and connected to our instincts. I seal the store of life force with the overtone tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of wakefulness. So we are empowering the birth of our being. We are empowering our purpose so that we can thrive. Okay. So that's 3rd time. I empower in order to thrive. Commanding instinct. I seal the store of my life force, of your life force. You are sealing the store of your life force with the overtone tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of wakefulness. Ashe. So now let's get into the oracle reading. So how exactly do we tap into the power of commanding our life force? Or now that we're focusing on commanding our life force, we want to radiate in our life force. What is the process that this is taking us through? Like, what is the whole goal? So the whole goal of us bringing all of this energy together is so that we can really bond and build a connection with our dreams and our intuition, our abundance. And so, we want to be wakeful in that. We want to be in our abundance. We want to feel abundant, right? So this is our focus. This is the focus we're on, and this is the goal that this Destiny Oracle will help us to navigate in our energy through, right? And so when we're looking at the Destiny Oracle, it consists all 5 of our aspects that makes us multidimensional. So in the center, this is our soul focus. We want to connect with our soul to see how we can thrive in this experience. And so when we look at the Kinergy just above that, that is in the position of the spirit guide. So we have the red overtone Skywalker that's guiding us in staying connected and commanding our instincts. And the overtone Skywalker is commanding us to be wakeful, to be in that wakefulness, to explore the space that we embody and the space around us. So as we trust our instincts, we're guided to stay wakeful, to stay present and inside of our beingness, okay? And so then when we look just below that, that is our connected to our emotional body. So this is the gas in our car that's going to fuel us in directing our instincts towards staying wakeful. So what's fueling us is the energy of the yellow solar warrior, where we're realizing our own fearlessness by or through asking questions, through questioning our intelligence, because again, we are Homo sapiens. We are energetic light beings, or energetic conscious beings. Through the energy that we're pick up on is giving us new insights, is giving us this consciousness, just like a sun shining on a plant is feeding the information so it can grow. So it's the same thing with our consciousness. However we're thinking is how we're going to grow and how we're going to do things in this experience. So when we connect to our emotions and realize what it takes, what it really means to be fearless. What it really means to be fearless is to be bold and to ask questions. Don't be afraid of your intelligence. Because just think about it. If somebody were to ask you something, you didn't feel as confident about it, that corresponds to some type of fear that you don't know something. However, say that you do know something, somebody try to play you like you don't know what you know, then that also can create some level of fear if you don't express yourself in the way that you know that in a way that you know how to when it comes to answering the question. So the best way to really realize our fearlessness is to question our own intelligence. Don't be afraid to question what you know already. It's okay to come into new information to evolve your mind, because the whole goal is to expand our mind, to grow. We can't grow if we're still living if we're still living based off of old concepts that don't work for us. We got to be open to new information so that we can evolve past the information that's causing us to keep repeating the same events. So we got to ask ourselves, how do I get out of this experience so I can have a new experience? So we got to be fearless to ask those questions. And so now, if we look to the left, we have the blue overtone eagle. This is the position of our mental body that's commanding us to get into the mindset of creating the vision. So if you did soul assignment number 4, this is where we start to command the mindset that we need to be in so that we can create the vision of the goals that we seek to accomplish. And so when it comes to trusting our instincts, we have to overcome that challenge of we have to overcome the challenges of creating the vision. Sometimes we don't always trust our instincts. We don't want to trust our instincts to guide us in creating new experience. And I say that personally because that was one thing for me. I had all this information, I had all of this wisdom, all this knowledge. However, when it came to applying it at a certain point, I didn't trust myself enough to do it. I'll even get different visions in mind about the information, I'll get visions in my mind about new opportunities that this information could lead me through or towards. However, being blocked being blocked by that energy of fear, I've missed out on different opportunities, or I'll say I missed out on different opportunities. And I say that because anything that's for us, we won't miss, right? However, I will say that if I honored my knowledge, I could be in a whole different space than moments where I didn't honor what I know, right? So we got to break through that fear and connect back to our heart space and know that we are abundant and get to creating the visions that we have. Okay. And so that is the mental body, the blue overtone eagle. Now when we look on the right, this is the position of our physical body now. So now that we have connected with all of the energy, like our emotions, our thoughts, our spirit, and our soul, now, when we get to the physical body, the kin in the physical body and start to animate our body, that supports us in carrying forth in the energy that helps us to create our different experiences. So the kin that we have in the physical body for the red serpent is the white overtone wizard, where we're commanding ourselves to be receptive. So to be receptive means to be open to new opportunities or to be open to new information. And so through that, or a way to do that is by enchanting ourselves to operate in timelessness. And so what that means is that we're going to operate outside of these time limits and constraints that we put on ourselves and that society puts on us, so that we can really connect with our higher self to receive this insight. So when we command ourselves to be receptive and sit in that timelessness, that's when we start to get these downloads. That's why meditation is a great tool to help you to do that. And there are different ways that you can meditate. You can meditate through, naturally sitting there in lotus position and just sitting there in that way. You can meditate through writing and journaling. You can meditate through, doing different art forms. Like I know with guys, they might meditate through when they're working out. If you're into art and painting, as you're making these paintings, you start to get different downloads and insights. You know what I'm saying? So it's different ways to meditate, and you can reach out to me to explore different options that may be best for you to tap into that space. However, like I said, the whole point is to now get ourselves to be even receptive to the insights that we're receiving from our instincts. So when we get into the soul assignment on the next slide, you'll start to see how all of these different elements start to, or how all these different elements are integrated within the soul assignment so that we can bond with our intuition and really nurture ourselves to still be wakeful in our body as these energetic light multidimensional beings that we are. And so that concludes the oracle reading. The main frequency that we want to tap into is empowering ourselves to be radiant. Command our life force to take action in the radiance that our energy brings in to our body. We want to, basically it's like not like get loose, but allow yourself to enjoy the fact that you are human. What does that look like for you? Start creating that vision of that for yourself. And so this now brings us to our soul assignment to close out this session. And so this soul assignment, what I want you to do is to practice the breathing exercise that was assigned during Kin 2. And so by doing this breathing exercise, it helps you to connect to your body's instincts. It helps you to bring awareness to any sensations that you're feeling. So like, for example, right now for me, I feel my atoms. I like to say I feel my atoms having a party. And that's because I'm excited about what I'm talking about. Like I've been excited this whole time. You can even hear it in my voice. And so, just being aware of our body's instincts starts to help us to even be more wakeful and present within our bodies. One thing I'll share too, earlier today, I was having a little headache. So I was like, okay, instead of me trying to push myself to, do all these different things, let me listen to my body. So I drank some water. I laid down, got me a little nap in, and then I ate some food, and boom, my headache went away. So, our body gives us these different messages to help us to continue to thrive in our experience. When we don't pay attention to our body, that's where a lot of these health issues start to come up, and even some mental disorders or mental, it basically put our physical and mental health at risk when we don't listen to our bodies, right? So coming back to the soul assignment, we want to bring awareness to any sensations that we're feeling and really honor that. A great tip that I would suggest is, one, doing your best to get into a quiet space. However, even if you're not in a quiet space, that's even a better challenge to be present within yourself. So regardless of the case, the tip is to close your eyes to help reduce the different distractions. Allow yourself to do that breathing exercise to, get familiar with your instincts. And so after you do that, the next step is to begin visualizing your dreams. Like think about what aspirations you have. Like what are the different goals that you have in mind? That was part of Kin 4 soul assignment. So yesterday, that was the assignment, is to bring definition to what your goals are, your different targets, like what you want to experience here. And so once you begin to visualize what that looks like for yourself, now let's start getting to the part of fearlessly trusting our instincts to guide us. And so, remind yourself of that breathing exercise. And so then once you are at peace and calm with that, I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. The first question is, what target do I feel called to focus on in this moment? What do I feel called to focus on in this moment? whether it's related to the assignment that you did yesterday or just right now. What do you feel called to do next right now? Like, what do you feel called to do with your life force right now? For me right now, I'm thinking about going to eat. I'm ready to go eat. That's my next target, is to eat some food, right? And so then the second question I want you to think about is, what order of steps should I take or shall I take to begin actualizing my targets so I will create my vision in real time? This is why doing soul assignment number 4 is so important, because now we are getting connected with our body to give us that insight and the information to help us to really, like the question says, create our vision in real time. It starts with being present within ourselves and not so in reactive to the different things going on around us, because those different things can be a distraction sometimes. So going back to the example of using the going to the grocery store, going to the grocery store. So if you're driving to the grocery store and you got your list in mind of the different things that you need to get, and then all of a sudden you see your friend, you ride past your friend, so you stop and pull over and you start talking to your friend for a while. Now, I'm not saying your friend is a distraction, but remember, your goal is to go to the grocery store, and you probably didn't write down your list of things. So, you're enjoying your time with your friend, and then you get back in the car, and then you start going to the grocery store. You kind of risk that chance of forgetting some of the things that you had on your list. Or say that, you get so excited of hanging out with, seeing your friend, that y'all make plans to go do something else. And then boom, you didn't go grocery shopping. So, just by being aware of what your targets are, it helps you to be more mindful as to like different actions and different steps that you need to accomplish it. So like using that same example, say you see your friend and you need to go to the grocery store, you could stop and say hey and chat it up a bit, and then say your friend want to hang out later. You could say, all right, yeah, we can hang out. I just need to go to the grocery store real quick. Or you could come with me. You know what I'm saying? And then, it just helps you to figure out what steps that you need to take in doing things. And so as you complete the soul assignments, I highly encourage you to journal and record your insights. I'm big on writing. I highly recommend getting a journal specifically for this journey. Okay. And so with all of that, that basically concludes this reading, the Cosmic Oracle reading of Evolution. And I am having a blast as I continue to find my rhythm and flow in doing these videos. And I say that in a way to also encourage you all to tap into your power, know what your purpose is, and know what your goals are, and start getting into the rhythm of it. Because the more that you practice and do it, the better at it you become. And so with that, I do want to share a little bit more before I sign on off of here and let us go do our thing. I wanted to talk about the Galactic Profile Chart. I want to talk about the Galactic Profile Chart. And so the one component of the profile chart, or I call it the GPC chart, is the Cosmic Oracle reading of Evolution. That's this first segment that you see on here. That's the energetic stabilizer. That's what helps us to remember how to bring ourselves into vibrational alignment as this fifth dimensional being so that we can stabilize our energy flow. This is why we're doing the Cosmic Oracle readings, to stabilize our energy flow. And so when it comes to the profile chart in itself, I also have 2 other components that helps you to get into your purpose now. And so there's this component that helps you to know what your personal life path journey is, and so that you can integrate your energy flow within this journey that you're on. And that helps you to integrate, operating in your energetic frequency throughout your human experience. And so then the third component of it is to help you to have more clarity and to remember what your purpose is and how you can creatively activate it by operating in that frequency and aligning it with the different goals and endeavors that you have here within this experience. And so those are the different things that I talk about when it comes to the Galactic Profile Chart. However, if you just want to focus on getting familiar and, stabilizing your energy first, this is where I suggest that, you book the Cosmic Oracle reading of evolution with me so that, we can get that squared away. Now, what I will say is I offer a coaching package that includes all of this, which I've incorporated the Synchrononaut navigation map. Now, when it comes to the Synchrononaut navigation map, it helps you to evolve through different transitions that you're currently experiencing on your journey. So to put this all together, or to, give you a better understanding as to why I have 3 different aspects of the readings that I do. Again, the first one is to stabilize your life force. I'll say it in that way. And then the profile chart helps you to know how to navigate in your life force in this experience that we're in, right? And so the Synchrononaut navigation maps lays out the plan. Like, so for example, say that your goal is to get a new car right now. I could use the Synchrononaut navigation map to help you to figure out different steps that you need to take in navigating towards that goal. You know what I'm saying? So those are the different components that I incorporate all within that coaching package that I'm offering. And it's valid for 6 months. So, you do have the time to, book your sessions over that 6-month period. And we got different exercises that I will work with you on specifically during that, during that service. And so with all of that, if you don't book a reading, if you're not ready for a reading yet, at least reach out to me so that you can find out your galactic signature. I would say that is step 1. You can reach out to me for that. I also encourage you again to come out to the New Camp orientation session so that you can understand and get more familiar with the concept behind it all. And also, I do the Cosmic Oracle readings on aligning with the cycles. That is through Mimic. Those take place on Fridays. So the New Camp orientation is on Thursdays, and aligning with the cycles is on Fridays. So chances are, I will keep you all updated on what will happen if there's a day where I'm here to, basically what I'm getting to is that if I am going to do the Cosmic Oracle reading, because I do these on every red kin, just to let you all know, I'm going to do these readings on every red kin. So what I'm saying is that if aligning with the cycles fall on a red kin, that's where you can go to get the Oracle reading, is the point I'm making. So I will keep you all updated as to where to find me if that were to be the case. However, every time we're on a red kin, I will have a video posted for that. And one way that you can keep up with the calendar is by downloading one, or, basically we have apps out there that you could download. So if you have an iPhone, the name of the app is called 1320 Sync. And if you have an Android, the app is called, wait, hold up, I don't have my phone with me. Oh gosh, what's the name of the app? I think it just says the Zokan Calendar. I think that's what it says. I think it's called the Zokan Calendar. It has a yellow logo. So next time, and actually I will put it in the description, the different names of the apps. I can't remember the exact name, but I believe it's called the Zokan Calendar for the Android app. So that's the one that I use. I have an Android, Team Android. But anyways, so yeah, with all of that, I'm going to go ahead and close out this meeting or this session. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I talk about some of those concepts. The next time I do the video, it won't be this long. My goal is to keep it under, well, honestly, probably about like 45 minutes or so, maybe 30 minutes. That's the goal. Okay. So that's one thing that I am working on as I continue to evolve with you all through this journey. And so, with all of that, I'm going to go ahead and liberate us so that we can all do our soul assignments. And so, with that, I appreciate all of you for tapping in. Definitely subscribe. I will appreciate it as well if you like and leave a comment to share what your experience has been through just watching this video, or anything that I've talked about, and the soul assignments. Like, yeah, just let me know how it's working out for you, and I will see you all on the next one. So I send you all peace, love, and light. And may that you enjoy your creation in every single moment of now. I'm sending you all the highest of the highest vibrations, some love, joy. Like, if I could hug y'all right now, I will. I would. I'm a hugger. I like to hug. And so, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign on out of here. This is Moon Goddess Ambrosia, the fifth force oracle of Moon Goddess and the Healing Arts. And I will talk to y'all later. Stay peace.